We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next. Welcome back to the Daily Helpline. Today, Miles and I are joined by actress and Broadway phenomenon, Marissa Winokur. So amazing. I'm so happy that you're here. And I want to talk to you guys about our next guest. Now, I want you all to meet Denise, who's joining us on stage. Denise is a 24-year-old young lady who knew that she was a lesbian at a very young age. And unfortunately, when she made the decision to talk to her parents about it, it tore the family apart. Or at least that's what she believes. So everybody, please welcome Denise to the stage.
Well, how did they respond?
Horrible.
What does horrible look like? Tell us about that.
It's just a lot of names, and a lot of images were thrown out. They thought nothing but wrong about me. They thought that I was a lost cause. They thought I was just a lost child. They just thought the horrible, anything horrible.
At one point they thought they could actually kind of pray the gay away, right?
Yeah, they thought they could help me and talk to me. They thought I would need therapy. They thought it was just a phase. That, oh, it's okay, you know, we'll get you through it. We'll pray. We'll take you to church, and it'll all go away. It'll all go away. And
but it hasn't.
It hasn't.
It's not going to.
It's not ever going away.
This is who you are.
It's who I am.
Yeah. So tell us, why do you believe it's torn your family apart?
I feel it's torn my family apart because we were perfect, not so perfect, but we didn't have as much of an issue as we did when I did come out. Because when I did come out, everything that happened, all the problems, all the fighting, was always pointed at me. They've never been the same, and they weren't ever able to live the day without seeing me the way I am. Or the way I was.
So now, in essence, you've become the black sheep.
Yeah.
You are now the source of every issue that the perfect family now has.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel horrible. It makes me feel, I feel ashamed. I feel guilty. I just feel horrible. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard because you know, I always try to be the perfect child. I always try to be the perfect child. I did all I can, and it was just horrible. Both of my parents weren't able to look at me when I came out. And it's like, I try to make the relationship work. I do my best to do what I can, finish school, get a good job, and it's not enough for them. The whole me being a lesbian will never change.
Marissa, I see you over there, just like, your heart is hurting.
I feel like I could cry. Like your
Yeah,
story
I'm
is
trying so hard.
No, it's good. I mean, I have a 5-year-old, and I couldn't imagine he could tell me anything. 80% of my friends have come out, are gay, and literally 80% of people that I hang out. My son, I'm like, oh, Rusty's coming over today, and you're gonna meet his husband Barry, who you've never met, and he's growing up, I feel like, in a better world. And I am shocked that in 2014 this is still happening, and because of the world I live in, and like, this is who you are, and you're a beautiful young lady, and I'm so sad that you feel like anything that your family's going through is your fault, because you are who you are, and that's a beautiful person who wants her family. And you're not even saying, I don't care what they think. You're like, I want them to love me.
Marissa, if you could be her mom for just a minute.
Oh my God, I would be like, I love you. And I have a friend that this exact story happened to 12 years ago. He came out to his parents, and shockingly to me, he was thrown out of his home, his clothes, his life, thrown out, not accepted at all. And it seemed so crazy at the time. He was one of my best friends. I wanted to marry him my whole life. And but I just attended his wedding 12 years later, and I can't say this will happen for you, but his parents were there, and they came full circle, and they were there at his wedding to a man, and loving and supportive. And it took 12 years of a lot of therapy for everybody and a lot of help for everybody, but they did the work and they did do it. So I can only give you the hope that maybe that could happen for you. And it's so more normal than you think. Like, you're helping so many people by telling your story.
I agree. But the part I'm seeing is that you're not trying to get acceptance and get your family to be okay. You're trying to get acceptance from yourself. And I've seen this happen before because, you know, if there is homophobia in your family and the way they responded, I don't know that it didn't imprint you. And even though you are openly gay, that you might have your own homophobia going on about accepting really who you are. Yeah. So the reason we wanted Marissa to step in, and she did it beautifully, to say you are enough, is the reparenting process is going to be you reparenting that little girl inside you. And that's going to take some practice and some patience. But I mean, trying to change your family is like trying to hug a cactus.
Ouch.
It's gonna hurt, and you're not going to want to do it anymore. And so there's no way you could show up and make them feel differently. But I can tell you, families do change. The only way you can get them to change is you focus on you. And what happens with them happens with them. So I want you to commit to doing that going forward.
Your focus is about you and what's going to make you happy. And them seeing you live that happy, healthy life is going to make them want to be a part of it because they're missing out on that. Okay? So start there. That's the answer. Okay? Thank you so much for being here today. There's more with the Daily Helpline when we come back. Stay tuned. Coming up, what do you think is happening?
Oh, I'm not ready to give up on my dream, and it feels like I'm gonna have to make that decision.
She's not carrying an equal share.
And that pisses you off?
Yeah.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.